If this don't fix it, I'm pretty lost on what the problem can be. But we will get this sorted out in this video, one way or another. This is my ttrs, and it is decided to break again. So in the last video, you would have seen we'd done the thermostat, and that wasn't even the issue. It was the coolant solenoid, which there's no information about, but that is done and that is sorted, and the car gets up to temperature. But since doing that, the car decides it just wants to cut out now and again, and I keep on getting this low pressure fault. P310B means we have a problem with our low fuel pressure side. Well, as you can see, we've not done anything to do with the low pressure fuel side, or to be fair, anything to do with the low pressure fuel side. The only thing we've done is unplug this. This is the low pressure sensor. So whether a cable's got caught or not, I don't know, but I don't think it has. Or is this just a total coincidence that something else has decided to break? But it's a strange one. So let's check this out, get this car sorted and get it fixed and sort that low pressure fault out. So first of all, let's bang in a new low pressure fuel pump. I did get this cheap, so let's just pop it in and see what happens. I don't think it is that, but as I said, I did get it cheap, so whatever, just bang it in. So let's do that and see if that makes any difference. So what I need to do first is disconnect the battery, because we're playing with fuel, lift up and pull out the back seats, and that shows us where the fuel pump is. Once we remove this little cover, there you go, you can see it. So I'm just unplugging the connector to it, just have a little clean up so I want nothing falling in the fuel tank. I'm just using this to push the button. Don't worry, I'm not actually levering it up, I just couldn't get my finger into the place to push the button on the clip. So I'm just tapping the ring off now, so that's what secures the pump into place. So with that all undone, I'm just trying to keep it as clean as possible, because as I said, we don't want nothing to fall in the fuel tank. So with the pump all nice and loose like that, I remove the seal, and there's two connections that go to like the jet pump, the vacuum pump on the other side, because being the Quattro, you've got like a level sensor and stuff on the other side of the saddle tank. So there's two connections there, so I've just got to unplug them and then I can pull the pump out. So with the pump back out, it's literally just the reverse of removal. In goes the new one, connects it all back up. It is quite tight in there to do all this, but obviously it is doable. I'm just being careful not to trap any of the cables or anything in place, because we just want this to go in absolutely perfect with no issues. So refit the seal and now push that in there, and to make sure that is all in there nice and secure. I've got a mask on because obviously it stinks of fuel in there. Just give it another little clean up and just spray a bit of electrical contact cleaner on the plug, and that's it. Right, let's turn the key and see whether that primes up. We've got a fuel gauge, because that is very tight in there, and I hope nothing's got twisted or anything. Fuel gauge is working. I don't know if you can hear the pump. I'll do it again for you. Looking good to me. Right, let me just plug in the device and see what the percentage of the pump going is. Pretty normal. Everything is doing exactly what it should be doing, so that's got to be a good thing, but I'm still not totally convinced that this has actually fixed the problem, but we'll find out. Right, so now with all the values all up, I'm going to go to a column which is easy to read, and now I'm recording the data. So let's see if it dips. It usually dips after about 15 minutes of driving, so let's see what happens. If you're enjoying the videos, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel, give this video a like and just leave a comment. So it just cut out again after 6 miles and not even 10 minutes. So the pump is not the issue. I sort of pretty much knew that anyway, but I got the pump for a good price, so I thought it was worth putting in. Right, let's see if we can get back. I'm gonna have a look at the dip in the graph. So I don't know how well this is coming out on camera, but here's the live data from that drive. So engine speed up here, voltage there, which is obviously not that necessary. Or is this something quite important and I just keep on overlooking it? There you go. This is block 103 actual fuel pressure. And as you can see, it's all pretty good. And then it drops off here, comes back, drops off here, comes back, drops off here, and then goes along and drops off again. So the car actually cut out once and try to stall a few times. So if I speed up this, and it will start dropping very, very quickly. There you go, 4 bar now. So it's gone down to 4 bar. It'll probably drop to about 3 bar in a minute. So that's coming down. So that's at 4 bar. You can see the fuel pressures. So that's 66 in the on the high pressure still. Actually just gone up now, it's coming down to 50. So that's starting to drop. Now we've got up to 66. The pump is only on 23%, but you can see it does start spiking. It's asking for 68, 69 pressure. Pumps at 23%. Actual pressure 69. And there you go. So 103. We are now at 1.99 bar. So less than 2 bar. And it's dropping 1.48 bar. So proper low now. 1.39 bar, 1.35 bar on 103. So let's go up to 106. So the high pressure now is only 12 bar. Obviously because our low pressure's dropped, we've got no fuel to send up there for it to turn into high pressure. The electric pump's duty rate is at 65%, so you can see there's an issue and it's trying to, you know, create pressure. The rail's asking for 50 bar. The pump's running at 65% duty cycle. We only have 6 bar of pressure on the high pressure side. Just dropped below to 5 now. And the fuel low pressure 103 is literally just above a bar now. So this is where the car was literally, I think this was where it shut off at one bar on the low pressure. But then you can see here, it literally, boom, comes back to life again. So it will literally go from nothing to everything again. So if we just follow, see what's happening with everything else. The pump's duty cycle is 65%. So all we've got is 5 bar. So it's just lagging behind where I'm scrolling. So 65% duty cycle. The car's asking for 24 bar because I think it just wants to idle. The pressure's not doing anything. It's still on 5.49 bar. But now we're going to suddenly shoot up now. So now the low pressure is starting to go up. We're at 7 bar. It's just literally shot straight up now. It's gone, oh, there's a problem. Let's get some fuel up there. 7 bar. It's gone to that. There you go. The actual rail now for the high pressure shot up to 36 bar. And the pump's slowed down to 9.8%. I've done the tests already using the live data and I knew it wasn't going to be the pump the problem, because the pump is doing well. It's not trying too hard or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's the controller which is the issue, which we will be sorting out in this video. But I just wanted to show you what it does, where it just literally goes completely normal and just literally loses low pressure. See, as we can see, that low pressure fuel pump made absolutely no difference, and to be honest with you, as I said, I didn't think it would. So what we need to do now is change the low pressure fuel pump controller, which I'm suspecting it is this, because everything else seems to be doing what it should do, and there's obviously a problem between the car's ECU and the pump. There's some confusion going on there, and between them two is the low pressure fuel pump controller. So I've got one. I'll show you the other bits we've got to go on anyway, but yeah. So in this, I've got a new genuine G410 sensor, which is the low pressure rail sensor. I'm pretty sure the one on there is absolutely fine, as I have a constant reading from there, and it's doing what it should do, you know what I mean? So I don't think that's going to make any difference, but as I'm going to the ring in a couple of months, I don't want to risk anything. So I've got a new one of them to go on, and a new genuine fuel filter. I did change the fuel filter when I first got the car, so it's not very old, so I still don't know whether I'm going to change that, but I do have one. But yeah, that's probably only done about 3,000 miles. But we've got a genuine one, so if you fit that, we know it can't be a dodgy filter. So here we go. So in this, let me just get it out the packaging. As you can see, it's a lot different to a 2-litre TFSI. It's all on a bracket and stuff like that. You've got your two plugs there. One that goes to the pump and the one that goes to the car. Mine's got that code. It's been revised. It's now B, and they're now made in China. But I don't know if it needs coding yet, so I'm going to plug it in just to make sure it all works first. So got a new one of them. Let me just show you where it is. It's in a bit of a pain in the backside place compared to like a 2-litre TFSI. Right next to the fuel filter. And it does look like there's something going on around there, but I'm still not totally convinced. Until this is fixed, I'm still not 100% sure on what it is, because everything seems to do what it's supposed to do, and then it just, you know, stops doing what it's supposed to do. But we know it's not the pump because it's got a new one of them, and it's a strange one, isn't it? But to remove this is that bolt there, that bolt there. That bracket will then come down, but to get the cable out, apparently you need to drop the fuel tank. But I have literally let this tank run pretty dry, so it's got a fuel light on now. So it should just be the case of undoing these straps just a little bit, just enough to get the cable through, because we will be coming down that way. But yeah, we will get this sorted. We'll see what happens, innit? There's no videos on doing this, so I don't know. There's not really any guides, but I think we may have to drop the tank. But first of all, let's just get the car down, plug that new controller in, and make sure it all works, and then we can find out whether we've got to do any coding or whether it's got to be coded. Because Audi seems to think it needs coding, but I don't always trust what Audi say, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things they say you need to do and you can't do, and this gets done and that gets done, but yeah, take everything they say with a bit of a pinch of salt, to be honest with you. So let me plug this in and see whether the car actually fires up. So just going to unplug that, and see what happens. Let me just pop you there. Let's just swap those plugs over, one to the car and one to the pump. Right, that's the new one all plugged in. So let's see what happens. Let's see whether the fuel pump all primes up or whether we do need to code this in like Audi say. Primed up, absolutely fine. And it's running absolutely fine. So I don't know what they're on about, because it's running absolutely fine. So as I said, we take what they say with a pinch of salt. And another thing is, they wanted £700 for that controller, and that was with my trade discount, and I got a brand new genuine one from LL, or whatever it is, LL online for like 245 quid. So yeah, big saving. Let me just plug this in quickly. So I just want to quickly see what live data we got going on, just to make sure. Put the fan on to get the fumes out, just to make sure we've got no issues. I'm just going to quickly just do it with OBD11, just to so I'm just letting that connect to the car. But so far, Audi, it don't look like you need to code it to the car, mate. So trying to charge me £700 to do that, to buy it, and then telling me that I have to come to you to code it to the car was a bit of a lie, I think. Right, let's have a look. Let me just go to engine and see what faults we got. Let's clear that. Right, let's go to engine. Let me turn this light off because it's probably just reflecting off the screen. Right, there we go. Just go to live data, go to 103, 5 bar. It's all doing what it should do. Fuel pump adaptation status, adaptation okay. Yeah, so everything is doing what it should do. Let's go to 106, see what the fuel pump's running at. %, 33%, so yeah, it's not even trying. It's doing what it should do. So I think the next thing is let's get this controller proper swapped out now. Just like an absolute pain, but let's crack on. It's not really a lot to see really here. It's just that one undone, undone, and I'm hoping I don't have to drop the tank, because that would be a result. But it's one of those things, isn't it? It's got to happen. So whatever we've got to do, we've got to do. Alright, so that's those all off. So let me see whether I do need to drop this. I think I'm probably going to have to be honest with you. I think I'm going to have to. So I'll see you in a bit once I've made a bit more progress. So I've got the old one out, which is here. What an absolute pain that is to get out. So I do hope it is that. And it's all looking okay. So tanks dropped. I've dropped the tank, and right, let's have a ball ache trying to get the other one back through. So to drop the tank enough was to literally undo the 2 bolts here holding the filler neck, and then just undo the straps, but not all the way, just enough to get the cable through. So the new controller is there, and the cables are inside the car, so I've just got to get this mounted here and then think about changing that fuel filter. Probably don't need to do that, as I said, but I've got one, so I might as well swap it out. So that is all in, all back in place. Oh, that's all done. So I'm just going to change the sensor, but I also want to show you something else as well. So I did check, because obviously when I done the thermostat, you got this cable here, and I kept on thinking, have I damaged this cable somewhere? So let me put the ignition on and show you. So you've got 3 pins, so you have a live, a signal, and an earth. So you should have a 5 volt, 5 volt, and no, nothing, because it's an earth. So here's the multimeter. So just put that on. So let me just put the ignition on. There you go, 4.96. So yeah. So there's your earth. There's your 5 volt there. And then another 5 volt there. Doing that test, I can see that I haven't trapped a cable. Because the problem is, I wasn't too sure on it. Because I never had this issue before I'd done the thermostat. So I kept on thinking, have I caught the cable? But doing that, you can quite clearly see that the cable's fine. Also, I don't really use the car. So it may have had this issue, but I didn't drive the car long enough for this problem to happen. And maybe it's something that's just got worse and worse and worse. So anyway, I'm going to swap that out now with a new one of them as well. Because I've got one right here. Very easy to do, just 1 bolt and a connector. And then that is literally all of the low pressure side taken care of. So there we've got new low pressure fuel pump, new low pressure controller, new low pressure sensor, new fuel filter, and everything's all genuine, brand new and genuine. So if this don't fix it, I'm pretty lost on what the problem can be, because that's everything. So let me whack that on, and then we'll get out and about and see what happens. Need to get some fuel in it as well, because it hasn't got any fuel in. Because I knew I had to drop the tank, and I didn't want too much fuel in there for dropping the tank. So let's get the sensor on and get this all buttoned up. There we go, new fuel filter, new controller, new pump and new sensor. So that is everything taken care of. So let's go for a drive and see how it is. So let's go for a drive and see if it's fixed the issue. All right, I've put 10 litres of fuel in it because I had some in some jerry cans. I've got the diagnostic plugged in up there. It's going to bang this on the windscreen, the camera, and let's see whether this has actually sorted the problem. I did have to get changed. I was covered in fuel, all sorts of stuff. That was a horrible job to do. All right, so a key is going to be handy. Okay, that's a little bit worrying. So I've put 10 litres of fuel in it, and it still says I've got no fuel. All right, whatever. We will go and put a full tank in it and see whether that gets it moving. But I know there's fuel because I've just put 10 litres in it. Alright, let's see whether we've got any fault code. Concerning about that fuel gauge now. Maybe that's something you've got a code, but then again it said it had no fuel before. Maybe it will sort its life out. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's put you over there for the minute. Right. So it's now saying we're not low on fuel, so the gauge is obviously starting to sort its life out. That's something, but we're still going to go and put fuel in it. So let's quickly check for codes on this to make sure, and then we'll get our live, and I'll get my live data up like I did before, so we can follow what the parameters are doing and see what's happening. There may be some codes right now because things have been unplugged and all sorts of things like that, so it's gonna let it do that. Right, so with all the fault codes all cleared, which were just for literally me unplugging stuff, I'm gonna get the live data all rigged up. Actual fuel pressure, electric load, everything we're gonna need, and it's all recording. Right, let's go. Let's tuck that down there. All right, 0 miles. Last time it was about 6 miles, and then it started playing up. Actually, no, do you know something? I'm gonna go for a drive like this first, just to see what happens. Quarter of a tank, so this will be a good test for it. So I'm literally gonna do the same. And they make a lot more noise when you haven't got the back seats down. When you ain't got the back seats down, that makes a lot of noise. Probably because you're getting the noise come straight from the road up round the fuel tank. Honestly, if this doesn't fix it, I honestly haven't got a clue, because everything's doing what it should do and everything's new. 3 miles in so far. Pretty sure it was 5 or 6 miles it done it last time. Right, up to 5 miles, and so far so good. It's behaving itself, but still not convinced. Still not convinced yet. 12 miles in, so I think we're good. I think we're good. So as you see, the problem looks like it's all been sorted out, but unfortunately, this was not the end of it. So as you can see, we did everything to deal with the low pressure fuel side. We done the pump, the controller, and even put a new G410 low pressure sensor on, which the old one was reading perfectly fine, and we've got voltage going to that cable. So it's a bit of a weird one, this, but I have sorted it, and you are not going to believe what was causing this low pressure fault. And it was absolutely nothing to do with the low pressure fuel side at all. So if you remember, back when we done the thermostat, we changed this. While the alternator's out, because obviously you have to move a lot of things out the way to get to the alternator on one of these. Got a new regulator. So a nice new regulator to go on there. So hopefully we won't have to worry about any alternator failures in the future. So we've got a new one of those to go on there, so we'll swap that out in a minute. The alternator, the regulator on the alternator to this genuine Bosch alternator regulator, which is the one for this car. Well, I'm pretty unlucky because this was faulty and it wasn't showing any code at all. We had no battery warning lights, we had no voltage faults, we had nothing like that, and the car was running absolutely perfect. But now and again, the low pressure fuel pump would suddenly pretty much switch off, and then we'd have an issue. So going back through the live data on this, I could see that on idle this was running about 13.6 volts, which is pretty normal. But when driving along, this was getting to over 15 volts, which was causing a spike. And the control and the ECU, or the control module for the low pressure side, out of all the modules, that one has basically tried to protect itself from this voltage spike and shut itself down. So yeah, I can't believe it. All this time it was this that we fitted when we done the thermostat. I did this as a fail safe, so when we go to Germany, I'm not going to have any alternator issues and things like that. And doing so, this has caused me a lot of issues and cost a lot of money. So obviously this is a Bosch one, but I'm going to get one from Audi and put one of those in, because I ain't going to risk it. Some companies say it's genuine, some say it's not. This was bought from the Bosch store, so I was thinking it was going to be all right. Maybe I've just been very, very unlucky and got a faulty one. But that is all sorted, so now we can get on with getting this car ready for the ring. So in the next video, let's get some upgrades done on this car and get it ready for the ring. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And I think with things like this, just buy a genuine one. Get one straight from Audi, Volkswagen.